Okay, in this video I want to answer one of the most important questions, and that is, what is actually retargeting or remarketing? Now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture a world without retargeting. And that world that you will see is actually a very, very sad place. Why? Years ago, in the times before retargeting, you were sending visitors to your website and you wanted them to complete a desired action. That could have been making a purchase, like purchasing a product, no matter whether it's a digital product or a physical product, or purchasing one of your services. Or maybe you just wanted them to opt into an email list so that you could follow up with your visitors. Now, in the perfect world, 100% of your visitors would convert. That means you would have a conversion rate of 100%. But this is just a perfect world. The reality looks a lot different. So when you're sending first-time visitors to your website and you want them to make a purchase, the average numbers are that 2% of these visitors will make a purchase and 98% will leave, which is actually pretty bad and pretty sad, because these people have already shown an interest in your brand and in your topic, and they didn't purchase for whatever reason. Maybe they have been at work and they were not allowed to browse the internet and they got disrupted, or they didn't trust you enough, or they just wanted to take an hour to think whether they should make the purchase or not, or whether they should go to your competitor or not. So bottom line, the vast majority of your visitors will leave without making a purchase or without leaving their email address. And before the concept of retargeting, there was basically no chance to follow up with them unless you had their email address, or unless they became your fans or your YouTube channel subscribers or your Twitter followers. But in most of the cases, you will probably not see that visitor again, okay? That visitor will leave and you will never ever see him again. There was absolutely no way to re-engage with an existing visitor that has already shown some interest in you or your brand or a specific product that you're offering for purchase. So this was a really big problem, and it made marketing pretty inefficient, especially if you're driving paid traffic campaigns and that traffic didn't convert right away. But then retargeting came, and retargeting changed everything. It just opened the doors to a completely new world. And how did that world look like? Let's take a look at the old scenario. You were sending a visitor to a website and he didn't purchase. Let's say you were offering him a pair of shoes, and he didn't purchase because, as I said, he was at work. His boss came and he just closed the window, and he was thinking like, oh, when I'm home in 3 hours, I will just buy these shoes because they look really great. But he forgot about it because, he had a fight with his wife or his girlfriend, and, he was busy with something else, so he just completely forgot to buy your shoes, which is really bad because he wanted them. So what to do about that? The solution is retargeting. So retargeting is basically a cookie-based technology that uses a simple JavaScript code that will follow your audience, your visitors, all over the web, and particularly on Facebook. That is basically Facebook retargeting is what we will focus on in this training. And it's very simple how it works. You place a small piece of code on your website. This code is sometimes referred to as a pixel snippet, a pixel code. And the code or the pixel is not noticeable to your website visitors. He can't see that pixel, and it won't affect your site's performance at all. It's completely invisible. But every time a new visitor comes to your site, the code drops a browser cookie. And later, when your cookied visitors browse the web or browse Facebook, the cookie will let your retargeting provider know when to serve ads, ensuring that your ads are served only to these people who have previously visited your website. And that is brilliant. So basically, whenever a new visitor comes to your website, a pixel is triggered, and you can just reach out for these people later down the road the next time they log in into Facebook. So in this example, a visitor wants to buy shoes. He takes a look at the sales page, maybe even put them into the shoes into the shopping cart, but he just didn't make a purchase. In that case, a pixel was triggered, okay? And the next time he logs in into Facebook, I can serve him an ad saying, hey, you've been to my online shop, but you didn't complete the purchase. Why? Go back and buy your shoes. Or I could even give him a discount, like, hey, you get a 20% discount if you buy these shoes now. Okay? So this is really great if a customer didn't finish the entire sales cycle. Or let's take a look at a different example. Assume you're running a blog or any other type of website, maybe an e-commerce store, and you have a like box, a Facebook like box placed on your website. And your first-time visitor doesn't become a fan, so what I could do then is just, install a pixel and create an ad saying, hey, you've been on my website, you read my blog article, why not becoming my fan? This also works really great when you build an email list. You're sending people to a squeeze page and they do not convert. You can do the very same and tell them, hey, why didn't you claim your free course on how to get 1,000 visitors to your blog in less than 24 hours? Or why didn't you claim my free report on how to land a kiss during your first date? Okay? So you can tell him, hey, you had the chance to opt in, do it now. Or if you see he's not interested in a particular lead magnet, you could just offer him something else, something that's still relevant to him but different. So there are lots of use cases to play around with retargeting, lots of different methods. We will take a deep look at all of them, but what I want you to remember now, and that's the underlying concept of retargeting, no matter if it's Facebook retargeting or retargeting that takes place outside of Facebook. A visitor comes to your website and he doesn't complete a specific desired action. You have the chance to re-engage with him, to follow up with him, and make sure that he completes the desired action, no matter whether it's a purchase, no matter whether you want him to opt into your lead magnet or just to read a different article, to engage with a different type or piece of content, or whether you just want him to become your fan on Facebook. There are lots of great techniques to apply retargeting successfully in your business, but that's the bottom line.